I was sexually abused by my dad for many years.
I suffered through 2 miscarriages, and with that came a lot of bitterness.
My grandparents passed away. It was real dark. I was on drugs. I ended up going to prison.
I got into drugs and alcohol, being angry at the church. Grew up without a dad and thought that men should have helped me, and they didn't.
I lost my 27-year-old son, Jacob. This is Jacob. And on July 27th, 2020, we find out that Jacob drowned.
I thought, God, what's special about 2008? And he said, somebody came on TV and said, it's the year of new beginnings. I remembered that I had kept missing my mammogram appointment. And I thought, God kept reminding me of it. And I know it was God, because nobody else was speaking to me about it or knew that I was late on my mammogram. So I decided that I better go. I called and got the appointment, and he said, you have cancer. And I went, okay.
There was this time when I was a little girl and I was just praying. I was like, God, why is this happening to me? God, if you can really do anything, why is this still happening to me? And I just, in that moment, just felt, it was like God was in the room with me, and he was wrapping his arms around me, and he was telling me, he's like, I sent my son for you, so you would not be alone.
When we got pregnant, someone close to us also got pregnant at the same time, and we were really excited. But I went to this person, and the feelings were not the same. And I had asked if they were happy for me, and the answer was no. And then we ended up having a miscarriage shortly after this was said, and that just added to the pain.
I've always went to church here and there, and but I didn't really find God until I went to prison.
As an adult and I had children, by this time, I remember saying, I'm only going to do drugs on the holidays, and the holidays took too long. Then I said, I'm only going to do drugs on the weekends, and then the weekends started to take too long. And I remember in the mirror, chopping up drugs, saying to myself, I can't quit, because I wanted to quit and couldn't.
And I just remember not wanting to live, not knowing how I was going to go on with my life, not knowing how I was going to adjust to having a son for 27 years. That was my handful, and now he's just gone.
But immediately, God gave me a word. And he said, all things, Romans 8:28, all things work together for good to those who love God and are called according to his purpose. And that just was it for me. I said, it's okay. It's going to be good.
The worst part about being abused is not the abuse. It's really the things that come after that. And just kind of years of just feeling alone and rejected and unloved and unworthy. I'm alive because of the relationship I have with the Lord, because I heard his voice, and he was there for me in the hardest, darkest moments when I felt unloved, unworthy, abandoned.
I need to forgive like Jesus forgives. I could hold on to that, and I could never forgive that person, but what would that do for me? Nothing, but make me angry all the time. I don't even think about it. There's freedom in that. There's freedom in forgiving and freedom in letting things go. With the second one, I was like, I'm not gonna let this ruin me. I'm not gonna let this break me like it did before. If it happens, I'm still gonna trust God. We did get pregnant with Natalie. The whole time was like nail biting, but when she came, it made it that much sweeter.
I started seeing things more clearly. Verses stood out to me that I could relate to. It's just like God opened my eyes.
And I knew there was no one that could help me, but it would take him, that I was so desperate that there would be no change without divine intervention.
And I remember the Lord just speaking to me and let me know, you're not doing this alone. You've got me. I'm right here, and I'm not going to leave you. And I know you don't understand, and I know you don't have all the answers, but I love you. I love my son, and I don't understand, but what I do know is God is faithful, and he'll never leave you. He never left me.
The oncologist said, well, I don't even know why they put these numbers in here. And I said, what do you mean? And he said, well, in one lymph node, there was 6 cancer cells, but in the last one was 7, which is God's number of completion. And I said, I'm complete. I'm healed, and I know it. And that was the most amazing thing, that I walked out of there knowing that I was going to be okay.
So God is
Good to the last drop.
Good to the last drop.
good to the last drop.
He's good to the last drop.
He is definitely good to the last drop.
He's good to the last drop.
He's good to the last drop.